Hi, today we are delighted to be taking a look at the Secret Winter Garden collection from Lewis Irene, which makes fantastic use of pearlescent detailing. We will be looking at all 15 designs, plus some of the mini design sets within the collection itself, and of course discussing some projects, and we've even got a free quilt project for you as well. So do stay tuned and take a peek. Hi, it's Charles at Empress Mills, and today we are taking a closer look at the absolutely gorgeous Secret Winter Garden collection from Lewis Irene, which follows in the footsteps of various other ranges, and there is even now a follow-on range to this, which is just Secret Garden, which is more of a summer collection, so it gives you plenty of options. Of course, all the details for these other ranges are on the website, but today's focus is, of course, Secret Winter Garden. Lewis and Irene have absolutely gone to town with this range. It's a real beauty of a collection, and it makes extensive use of pearlescent detailing, which just gives it that sort of frosty, wintry touch. As always with the Lewis and Irene range, there are 15 designs in the collection, 5 main prints in 3 colourways each, giving you the 15 designs across the board. This is one of the main designs and is an absolute beauty. As you can see, it really is a stunning collection packed full of detail. We'll get into it. We'll take a look at the detail. This really summarises the entire range. You've got this sort of not just pure winter. To me, it almost picks up on sort of a woody feel as well, with all of the tree elements, and not just winter, not just garden, should I say. Picks up on sort of a woody style feel with these trees and things. You've got this path snaking through the garden, and of course, just adding that touch of mystery, the little fairy door as well there. And we'll see later in one of the designs is a little key for this as well. The pearlescent detailing is all over the design. So on this, you're seeing it particularly on the edge of the tree there, and it's being picked up in some of these sort of seed heads and floral elements here, and these sort of bursts as well. So it is all over, but it is used really effectively. So it does just add that, to be honest, it just adds that real cracking frosty feel to the winter range. You can really see the animal characters coming out in this one. We've got particularly the bunny or the hare and the owl, and also not just sat, but also popping up along this path, and the owl is shown in flight there as well. So they make an appearance in quite a few of the prints too. As I say, it comes in 3 colourways. So there's that lovely blue. There is this, which is more of a midnight blue, that bit darker, but those silvers really sort of pop a little bit more on this one. And then also we've got this very sort of icy silvery background colour in the same print there. Just look at that one, which really captures that sort of frosty element. But it just depends on your taste, really. You've got a few different options there. This is the wonderful one with the key, just adding to that mystery touch of the idea of the fairies and these secret doors in the garden. And that key is picked out in metallic detailing, and it's sort of on the floor of the garden with this floral. So it's really nice the way Lewis and Irene have used sort of a blender style fabric to really tie back to the main design and the main theme. It's not just there to pad out the range, for example. And as you can see, it just works really well. Again, in that silvery style, sort of grey blue background on there. It is also available in this lovely blue colour just here. Just take a peek at that, and to me that is a real beauty. You can see all of those designs, all of those floral leaves clearly against that background, and also against this dark navy. And just wait till you see the gold popping on this one. Look at that. It's something just a little bit magic, isn't it? And this is where really the collection can spread. It doesn't just, particularly with the key, doesn't have to just be used with that. Any sort of mystical style collection, this would work. Mystical style project, should I say. This print in particular would work really well with it. Got that metallic detail to add that little bit of magic almost to the print. The next 3 are one of the real true blenders, but have proved super popular. Just wait till you see this. It's Snowberries. And look at that, and this icy blue background with that silver pearlescent detailing. And they've just used it to magical effect on this one. And I'm hoping we're going to be able to pick it up perfectly for you, because they've actually used the pearlescent to fully draw the design, which isn't that unusual, I grant you. But they've added, have Lewis and Irene, they've really gone to town on the design. So you've got almost a texture within each of the floral elements. They've really, really gone to town. It's not that they've sort of relied or rested on the metallic pearlescent edge on this one. They've created a design and then just added the pearl. It's a really, really effective print. Particularly on that silver, it gives you that nice sort of frosty feel again. This is it on a real silver grey background. Just there, and move it over because I just want to pick up on the colours. So that's it on the real silver grey. And what have they actually called this one? This, yes, it's on a very light lavender. And this is the magic with Lewis and Irene, which I always like to pick up on. And it's a perfect example of 3 shades that you'll see on this blender, which you haven't necessarily seen yet in the collection, but they work so perfectly with the rest of the range. So bear in mind that the first main print that we saw, and I won't whip us back to it, but it's a dark navy, a nice blue, and then a silvery icy blue. And then somehow they're managing to work this lavender, this classic silver grey, and then another ice blue in. Really works well together. Why is that important? I know I mentioned this point in some of our other videos, whether you've watched them or not, I don't know. Hopefully maybe you have. But it's important because it gives you such a spread of options within that 15 design collection. However you want to use that range, whether you want to cherry pick certain colours, or if you did want to use the full range, just means that the collection isn't becoming boring. It isn't just becoming one colour, or it blends because it's all one colour. No, that is not what you get with Lewis and Irene. You get a variety of shades that work incredibly well together, so they do work as one big project, but they don't become monotonous. It's a little sort of a real crucial element to their design style that I like to pick up on, because I do think it is really, really clever the way they work it in. This, I'll stop boring you now about that colour. This is another one of the florals, as you can see. One of Mum's favourites here, because she just loves the detail that they picked up on. We've got this sort of floral sort of leaf skeleton almost, and the seed head element. And again, just delicate use of pearlescent around those seed heads there. And then these nice spots as well. But it's just an all-round pretty design is this one. And again, could be used whether within the main collection or for other projects too. But just look at that. And also this lovely little spot in the background, just stopping the background from becoming one main colour. That little spot in the background, which just takes the edge off the background being one main flat colour. Again, just those little touches of detail that just make it something special. It comes in this gorgeous blue. I can't decide which one of these two is my favourites actually, whether it's this beautiful blue there, or it comes in the dark navy, which I think I do really like, but just you take a peek. I would love to know what your favourites are. Do leave a comment with which ones your favourites are. The dark for me makes the colours pop. It really makes it stand out. But that sort of subtly style feel where you can still see the design does have a really, really nice feel to it too. Yeah, do you know what? I've always been a fan of this collection. It's that sort of frosty feel that I like. Now this last design, in fact, I'm going to pick up on this one because we haven't had a grey as dark as this yet in this range. And again, just the clever use of colour. But on here, we've got the pearl elements on the trees, but also we've got the owl just exploring the garden or the forest. I'm more of a fan of this being a forest really than a garden. But you can see the owl sort of exploring, and again, just the nice detail, the nice sort of silhouette of the owl with a few little details around its feathers. It's in that dark grey. In fact, I'll move it out of the way then and I don't disappear behind a pile of fabric. It's in this silvery, icy blue. Now on this one, I think that owl really does take on a magical feel. Just look at that, the way it tones in so well. It's something a bit special as this range, it really is. And then on this gorgeous dark navy, where it almost pops a little bit more rather than going down the real soft, subtle route. You can really see the design pop in there with those metallic elements, and the owl just standing out that little bit more on the design itself. It's a real beauty, isn't it? It really is. And that's the sort of thing with this range. It's got that mystical feel. Obviously, it's got this secret garden idea behind it, but you can use it moving, whether you want to go down the floral route, whether you want to go more down the mystical route, whether you want to pick up on the metallic elements, and that be the core sort of idea behind your project. It gives you all those options within it. Overall, the collection, I mentioned it right at the start, 15 designs. Lewis and Irene split it on purpose, so it's five main designs in 3 colorways, which gives you 3 core sets, which is what we have here in these bundles, and they make use of this variety of colors really, really well, so you don't end up with a sort of a boring spread within one of the bundles. And we do, of course, have the Bumbleberry blenders, which are designed specifically to work with this range. They are amazing, they're absolutely gorgeous, and particularly this gold that we've sat on the top. In fact, I'm going to show it you because it would just be perfect for any sort of festive project, as well as working with this range. It's got that metallic element, so it's picking up on this range perfectly. But wouldn't it just work with so many different projects? And Bumbleberries, while this set designed specifically to work with this range, they are designed as pure blenders as well. So in each Bumbleberry, there's actually 7 different shades, so it gives you 7 different hues that you can be matching to within the one print. And there's 5 that go with this range, so it does give you a super spread. Now, I mentioned we talk about projects. Lewis and Irene always print their ranges on a pure cotton, and it is incredibly smooth. They only print on a premium grade A quality cotton cloth. That, for one, makes sure the print detail can be perfectly, the design detail can be perfectly recreated on the fabric, and also it gives you a beautiful fabric to work with, whether you want to quilt with it, or if you want to use it in things like dressmaking projects, or moving across into fabric crafts, fabric boxes, table runners, anything along those sort of lines. This fabric is absolutely perfect for. Now, we do have, in conjunction with Lewis and Irene, a free project available. It was created by Sally Ablett, who is a wonderful quilt designer who works with Lewis and Irene, so she sees the designs way out before we even get to see them. And she creates quilts and projects based on the design. So the first one, which hopefully you will be seeing in front of me right now, and as you can see with this one, it's got sort of a slightly lighter option around the outside edge, whereas this one that you should hopefully be seeing in front of me now has a dark element around the outside edge. But don't those colours just look amazing? It really still brings to life the collection itself and picks up on some of the lighter elements in there, even though you've got that slightly sort of darker border style design on that one. And then finally we've got this one, which hopefully you see now, and this one much lighter in the design. And again, I really wanted to pick up on these patterns, those 3 patterns that you've just seen now, because doesn't it give you a feel for the spread of style of colour projects, of shaded projects you can make with just one range? It's really clever the way they create these collections. And yes, all those are available for download. If you follow the link in the description underneath the video, you will head through. You'll obviously be able to see the fabrics, and you can download the pattern too for those projects. And I think I've covered absolutely everything. In terms of the detail, I'll just mismention it. It is a 44-inch wide fabric, which is 110 centimetres, just so you've got all the detail. And obviously, as I mentioned before, 100% cotton, and it is all pre-shrunk. Washes absolutely perfectly, even with that pearlescent detailing. And yes, I think now I have covered everything. If you have any questions at all, then please do get in touch. You know how to do that, whether it's through the website or through any of our social media channels. And please, we would be so grateful if you would like and subscribe to the channel. It gives me and Nat, who sort these videos out, just a little bit of a buzz. I know it's silly, but it's so nice to read the comments that we receive through emails. Lovely when we get comments on the videos, and of course when people choose to subscribe to the channel. It's a lovely little feel as well. So thank you very much indeed if you have already done that. Yes, and that only leaves me to say goodbye. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.